There. Go, Jacob.
He
I'm
meant,
over this.
he
I'm
meant our
over it.
next stage, comma, the movie
Yes.
watching challenge.
God.
That's what he meant.
Screw the ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da. I'm over it. But yeah, so Jacob was challenged by this schmuck down here to watch Pleasantville. Go for it.
Pleasantville. This is a movie that I was aware of, but I'd never watched. And I think it was around the time WandaVision was coming out. Jake, a couple other people were like comparing similar aspects to Pleasantville. And first off, I'll say I totally understand the comparisons to WandaVision. They definitely.
Brian, have you seen Pleasantville?
I've seen bits and pieces. So
I just want to make sure.
I've seen a lot of it. Like I've seen like 3/4 of it, but it's always been like caught it in different parts of like it being on TV. So like, yeah.
Well, there's a few movies I have like that, but definitely get the comparisons to WandaVision. But this movie, man, it's very unique. First of all, I'll say I really, really enjoyed it. Really, really enjoyed it. Tobey Maguire, like during this time, he was the perfect guy to cast as Spider-Man because you needed the high school kind of dorky, nerdy guy, and he's literally like playing Peter Parker in this movie, like before he became Peter Parker. So very interesting. And so he nailed that. And then what do you know? I didn't even know this. I saw the poster, obviously. Didn't even know that Reese Witherspoon is his twin sister in the movie, which is insane. But so I like once they get into the television world or whatever's going on, everything that happens in there is super creepy, super weird, but also like very engaging. Like I couldn't stop watching it once I got to that part because I didn't know where it was going when it first started. I was like, what's going to happen here? Like, keep in mind, I've never seen a trailer or anything. It's like, what's going to happen here? Like, how are they going to end up involved in this TV world, whatever's going on? And it kind of happens very quickly and you're just there.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of stuff happens. And I kind of picked this up. I was watching it. They really used this movie like the sitcom world people and the regular people. And then once those sitcom world people start becoming more like real people, they kind of use this to like represent like the civil rights movement and all that stuff. And that was actually really well done. Really, really well done. And Toby's Toby in this movie. He does his thing. He's pretty good. Reese Witherspoon is amazing in this movie, as she is in everything. Super young Reese Witherspoon. And Star Drew is saying the color's beautiful. Yeah, it's so weird. Like, once the color starts showing up in the sitcom world, spoiler, I guess, it does kind of like, even though we've seen those colors in our everyday, once you're watching the movie for 30, 45 minutes and you start to see color, it is kind of beautiful. Like, it kind of stands out a lot.
And I think it stands out because it's obviously a black and white movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
And
it pops a little more.
Jake, Paul Walker.
Yeah, man.
Freaking Paul Walker,
My boy.
Dude, super young Paul Walker. Can you imagine, like, during this time, they were probably like, he's going to be a big movie star. He got the looks. He's got the charm. He had everything. Yeah, he played a very important role in this movie.
So let me ask you, Jacob, what did you think of the plot point of how the characters realized their world is so and so? Like the process of how they went from black and white to color.
Yeah. So, there's multiple reasons why, but the main reason why their sitcom world, and basically for those of you who haven't seen it, like, I'm not going to really spoil anything, but the sitcom world characters, they only know everything that exists that happens in their world. So let's say they never even mentioned or ever seen a zebra before. They would have no idea what a zebra is, for example. And one of the things that they've never heard of or never done before is sex or sexual acts. And that's what kind of starts turning, like literally sex is used to move on to the next, like to move the story along. Mm-hmm. And it's not done like vulgarly. I wouldn't say so. It's PG-13, so it's not done vulgarly. It's not like bad taste. They handle it pretty well on that point. And so, yeah, overall, I really enjoyed this movie. I will say I kept expecting like the Truman Show, right? There's like a resolution, like you find out what was going on, how it was going on, and you get kind of a resolution. This movie like doesn't even like, it just like they get out of there and it ends. And it's kind of weird. I don't know. Do you like the ending, Jake?
I like the movie as a whole. I do. I think it's very fun. It's definitely that 90s movie, right? As far as storytelling
for
goes.
Sure. Yeah.
And, it plays to its strengths and it does have weaknesses and whatnot, but it's very much a funny look at all of the things that it's telling. And obviously the plot point of how these characters realize their world is a little different than what they've made to believe, and these things that are happening. Yeah. And I look at it as like a cheeky film, and so I go in with just expectations of like, I'm just gonna go in and have fun with it. And I remember watching it for the first time a number of years ago. I think I watched it on TV or maybe like a movie channel or something. I was like, I had never heard of it. I saw Tobey Maguire and Reese Witherspoon on the cover. I was like, oh, this seems interesting. Sure. And then I was like, wow, like, I mean, it's different, but I liked it. It's very, very interesting and very fun. So,
yeah. And I think if I had seen this before, I think I probably would have been the one talking about it all the time. Cause I don't know. It kind of reminds me of like a Twilight Zone episode, and I'm really into that kind of stuff. So overall, like I really enjoyed it. Like I said, when everything that happens in the sitcom TV world is amazing. I wish they would have expanded a little bit more. Like, were they dreaming this? Were like it was somebody messing with them? Is there like magic involved? Like you don't really get any answers to that, which is okay. But I do think it does have deep themes and it has a deep message, like basically. So it's overall very solid. I think most people like of this era would appreciate it if they watched it. Don't expect a masterpiece, but it's definitely worth watching.
For sure. Cool. I'm
happy. So what I got out of that is that sex saved the universe or the world.
Kind of their world. Kind of. Yeah.
But that's not like. Yes, like on face value, that's the way that you put it, but there's ultimately a deeper meaning.
It starts the domino effect of it.
Yeah. But yes, Brian, you are correct.
Nice. Nice. Oh yeah, I'm hosting the show. All right, I was thinking I shouldn't do anymore since Jacob has now watched the movie. I was challenged by Jacob to watch a movie. So everyone's favorite person to get challenged has been challenged because they literally can pick pretty much any movie. So who's doing the honors of my job? All right, Mr. Button.
Brian, would you like a poll or would you like to pick a number?
Poll.
Easy enough. All right, everybody. The poll will be up tomorrow morning for Brian's movies. And so there are only 3 options this week, so a little bit easier. First up is an ultimate classic from our childhood, and you'll see some familiar faces in there, and that is E.T., the Extraterrestrial. Brian, that is correct. He has never seen E.T. Next up is a Christopher Nolan classic, and that is The Prestige with Hugh Jackman, Christian Bale, and Scarlett Johansson. Plus Michael Caine, as always, and a number of other faces. David Bowie in there. And finally, a great film with a lot of twists and turns and very fun is The Usual Suspects. The Usual Suspects is pick number 3 as well. So there you have it. There's Brian's 3 picks for the week. E.T., The Prestige, and The Usual Suspects. Again, poll will be up tomorrow morning on our YouTube page. Go ahead and vote, and you guys get to decide which film Brian will be watching this week. Wow. You have until Friday to vote. So make your vote count, guys.
Interesting. Those were nowhere near my radar of what I was expecting.
Those are 3 damn good movies, I will say. And obviously I chose one of them, right? And I'll say I think why you weren't expecting them. I at least went in trying to choose something that I haven't challenged you to before, or that I haven't chose for
Thank
a while.
God. Jake
So I think we've all been trying to do that more lately. And yeah, we'll see what wins.
All I know is Elliot. Which ironically, I think like 2 out of those 3 are on my scratch off movie poster. So
I would say all 3 of them should be, but I guarantee you Suspects and ET is.
I know Suspects is.
Yeah.
I actually, now the more I think about it, I don't think ET's on it.
It would be very hard for me to believe that ET is not on that poster.
Yeah,
but it could be a specific kind of poster.
If Prestige is.
Yeah.
Just because it's a newer movie.
Yeah, it's the newest out of the bunch for sure.
Yeah.